Okay, we are live. This is week 43 of investing $50 a day into one stock for 20 years. I've been documenting this since day one, and before I show you where week 43 ended, I want to show you this. Let me share the screen. Okay. Be patient. I'm trying to figure out how to share this screen. Okay, let's go to BakoInvest.com. Okay, the article is why I'm betting on one stock for 20 years and showing every step. Click on it. Okay, so now let's go back to show the screen. Okay, so as you can see the screen right here, this is where I am. This is where I am today. Okay, as you can see, I now own 61.28 shares. I closed the week with 8,224, and I'm still down roughly almost 48%. So 47 point something, 47.28%. That's this is where I closed week 20. This is where I closed week 23. But now let me see if I can pull out week one. Let's compare that one. 61 shares after 43 weeks. So where's week one? Let me see if I can pull this screen right here before I go further. Perfect. Okay. Where's week one? There it is. Okay, so there is. Here's week one. So on week one, the title was my strategy this year journey week one. Why I'm dollar cost averaging. So I will not bore you with this. If you want to see, if you want to read the whole thing, you can simply just go to BakoInvest.com and then look for this article right here. If you see this article, this is the article that explains why it's called the why I'm betting on one stock for 20 years and showing every step. So this article literally tells you everything I'm doing. Because this is not about MSTR. This is about me documenting one stock just to see whether discipline can if discipline can outbe or can outwork the regular the regular financial information people have been feeding us, especially the Wall Street, where you have to invest in ETFs, buy and sell, buy when it's low, sell when it's high. And this one, I'm literally just buying all the highs and lows. So every single day I drop $50. So it says it's the challenge, but this is literally an experiment. It says I am not a trader. I am not chasing alpha. I am not juggling 10 position and calling a strategy. No. This one is just layer one stock, which is strategy, formerly MicroStrategy. So it says that every day I invest $50 into one stock automatically, no emotion, no chasing. And another thing I wanted to clarify on this one: most people they invest for 252 days, which is the regular days that the market opens every year. So meaning There's I think 114 days that people don't invest. So for me, I invest those one, which are already here. I invest on all 365 days, and he explained everything. Every Monday, I invest $100 extra on the top of the regular $50. You can see the screenshot. You can see the screenshot here set up. It says MSTR daily buy tomorrow. So this is when I took it. It says $50. MSTR weekly buy tomorrow $100. Which means I think when I took this one, it was on Sunday, because the $100 is only every Monday, and everything is automatic. But on the top of that, since I cannot automate for the holidays, let's say today's the President Day, today's the President Day, the market is closed. So that means tomorrow I'm going to invest 250. That would be 150, which is the $100 that covers the $100 I do every Monday to cover the weekend. Plus the regular $50, that's 150. So plus another $50 to cover for today's the President Day, which is $200. So since I cannot automate the holidays, the only thing I can do is since I cannot automate the holiday, every single day I go every day, whenever there's a holiday and the market's closed, either the day before or the day after, I go in and invest in $50 manually to cover for that holiday. So I do not miss a day. I do it every single day, 365 days a year. So on this article, what I do usually to make it easy for everyone, it's one article that says, "Oh, I'm betting." It explains everything, and it even says what I do during the winter. When I mean the winter, I mean like the crypto winter. I invest 1,800 extra. So yeah, I invest 18,250 extra, regardless of how the winter, how long is the winter. So now let's see. As you can see, I do Apple. I link every week here. I have week 1, week 2, week 3. So you can see there's literally every week. I've been behind for a little bit right now. I think I stopped on week 35. So I did right this week, week 41 to week 43. I wrote them. I just need to go back and double check that everything's correct, and then boom, upload everything. So basically, you can just find everything on this one. Under this, you can find everything under this one article every single week, and the updates. So let's see for week 1. For week 1, I was literally starting this. It was probably like the best week. The reason is because this was like the honeymoon phase of this journey. Now I'm in the week 43, which I'm like, it's not new anymore, because it's almost I'm almost 1 year into this journey. So week 1, as you can see, I closed. Let me click on image. I closed week 1, which started on April 21st of 2025. I closed that week with 0.72 shares or 0.73 shares if you want to round up to the nearest 10th. And then MSR value at that week, I invested 268. The average cost was 343. And as you can see right here, I was in a profit. It was week 1, of course. And from here, the market went up. In some weeks, I think at some point during the journey, MSR was like a 453, I think. So yeah, as you can see, and then today, let me see if I can. Let me go back to that for week 43 image. Today, where is it at? There it is. Okay, so as you can see, just 43 weeks after, 43 weeks after, I went from 0.73 shares in week 1 that I accumulated in week 1. Now I have 61.28 shares. Yes, to a lot of people, this is nothing. This is really to a lot of people that be like, oh, so cute. It's a cute project. But trust me, strategy is not a small stack. 6 to 1 shares from buying $50 a day, it's a lot. It's a lot. To be honest, that's when I bought it. As you saw for week one, I was for week one, I had only what I think the stock when I started that week, the stock was 43, I believe was 40, yeah, 343. It remind me if you saw that. The stock was 343. And today the stock is done so bad is a 134. At least that's where it closed the week. That's where it closed week 43 of the journey. So I'm now, like I said, I'm now on 61 shares, which is a big deal from 0.73 shares. That's a huge jump. But again, I'm down bad. I'm down negative 47%. But it's not that big of a deal because at some point, which is I think was like 2 weeks ago, if I'm correct, at some point I was like what negative 62. So from negative 62 to 43, it's making a progress. And plus, anyone who bought during this week, I think they're up at least 26%. So for me, I'm still down. It's not that big of a deal. It's good because I'm buying cheap shares. But the thing is, it's good because I'm buying cheap shares, but I'm still down 47%. But again, if it wasn't for this 47% for this negative 47%, I definitely wouldn't have 6 to 1 shares. So being down, yes, it's bad, but again, it can be a blessing depending on how you see it. If you really care about investing, or if you want to make money through investing, yes, a lot of people maybe might disagree with this, but you should focus on accumulating more shares than the price action. As long as you believe in this, as long as you believe in a stock or crypto or whatever it is you're investing into, you should focus more on accumulating more ownership. Because when the bull comes back, that means I'm going to make more money faster than because imagine if I was accumulating 0.73 shares, 0.73 shares a week. How many shares would I have right now? Let's be real. Let's do the math. Let me put on my calculator. 70. Let me see. 0.73 shares times 43. So basically, right now I'll have 31.39 shares. If the price, was still like around around 343 when I started, that's what it was. If you saw in week one, so I think you should focus more on accumulating more shares, which is ownership, of course, instead of focusing on this number. 8,000 means nothing, but this, if the let's say because strategy is tied on Bitcoin, it's tied on Bitcoin performance. So if this, let's say Bitcoin goes parabolic and strategy follows, I could double this or quadruple this in a week or two, depending on how big is the move. But the point is, you should focus more on shares instead of focusing on the numbers on the screen, because these numbers really doesn't mean anything. Because whoever owns more shares will outperform whatever this is. Because your portfolio or the market value, your portfolio value is literally based on how many shares you have. So the deeper your stock is, the more you should buy. Of course, this is not a financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is just for entertainment purposes only. This is why I'm focusing more on shares. Like I said, if the market didn't go down right now, I'll still have I think it was 31 shares, I believe. That's what we came up with. Let me go back to my calculator. Yeah, it was 31 shares. You can see it. 31 shares. But today I have 6 to 1 shares. To be honest, I didn't know. My goal was to have 50, at least 50 shares by the end of year one, which is going to end year one. We end on April 21st, 2026. That's when year one of this journey is going to end. That was my goal. I didn't even know I could reach 50 shares because strategy when I started was a 343. At some point it was a 450 something. So at some point it was literally taking me like 2 to 3 weeks just to get one share. Think about that. But now I average, think around 2 point something shares a week because strategy is down. And this is from strictly from $50 a day. I'm not dumping in like a lot of cash. No, just $50 a day. When you do it that way, it feels like nothing. If I can just take like 15K to dump in, I'd be like, that's a lot of money. But if I'm doing $50 a day every day, it sounds more doable. It sounds more doable than just taking a lot of cash and dumping. In a stock market, they call it like a lump sum. So I think I will highly recommend, not a financial advice, I will highly recommend you focus more on shares. Because so the point of this journey, many people might see me as a MSTR guy. No, I'm not an MSTR guy. The point of this journey is the psychology and behavior. Like building around, because a lot of financial influencers. By the way, I'm not an influencer. I'm just a guy sharing my journey. A lot of financial influencers, what do? Let me go back to me. So a lot of financial influencers, what they do is they just how you call it? A lot of financial influencers, they'll just tell you, okay, buy the dip, sell high. That's wrong. What you should be thinking about is get more ownerships, as you can see right here. Get more ownerships instead of focusing on a portfolio value. Portfolio value really doesn't mean much. This is what matters. The more shares you own, the more money you make. So I'm not here to tell you that I know how this is going to end, but I know one thing for sure. Nothing happens. Nothing just happens. You always have to create your own luck. This is me creating my own luck. And I will highly recommend that if you are special, I've been saying this. Let's say if you are an immigrant, you should take a full advantage of this system. The United States is one of the best countries in the world. Yes, a lot of people might not, a lot of people might disagree with it, but they have the best stock market in the world. Whether we like or not, yes, with the current administration, people might say, "Oh, we don't have a freedom, this and that." This is one of the countries where we have at least some kind of freedom. Freedom to move ahead. I'm talking about opportunities. I'm not talking about politics here. But the point is, if you are an immigrant, you should take an advantage of this country. Not this country. When I say advantage, I mean do some sketch shit. No, I mean you should take an advantage of opportunities, that this country represent. You can start a business, which is not for everyone. You can start investing. Anyone can do it, and there's the links in the description if you want to invest. I usually say, if you're new and you want to go into the stock market, Robinhood is recommended for the beginners. If you want to be hands-free, you can use Acorn. Webull is good if you're technical and gives more, free stocks. From what I've seen, it gives more free stocks. I recommend it. It's a good one too. But if you want to go into crypto, I recommend Coinbase. Good for beginners, or crypto.com. Crypto.com is good if you want to invest in the stock market. I mean, if you want to buy, excuse me, if you want to buy stocks and cryptos at the same time, just from one platform. Robinhood does that too. He has cryptos and cryptos and stocks, but their crypto, it doesn't have that many cryptos compared to crypto.com. But again, Robinhood feels much safer because it's heavily regulated. Is heavily regulated by the U.S. By the United States government. So I'll definitely recommend that, and the links are in the description. But this is week 43 of investing $50 a day into one stock. I share everything, the losses, the wins. I'm very open, I'm very open. I would say I am one of the most transparent people in this financial industry or influencing industry. So yeah, if you're watching this video and you are at this point, I want to ask you a favor. What do you think about this journey? Would you invest in MSTR? If not, what would you invest in? Because my point is, I'm not here to tell people you should invest in one stock. That's it's very risky because that means you're betting on one stock. If everything goes wrong, you lose everything. If everything goes right, you're more likely to make more money than if you were investing in a bunch of stocks. But this is my recommendation. If you're new and you don't have that much money, let's say you only have like, I don't know, you can afford $5 a day. Choose one stock. When I say one stock, I'm not talking about meme stocks like GME or I don't know. Just choose like solid stocks that you believe in. Choose 5 of them, and then even invest $1 in each every single day. Build a system around it, and then let everything do. Let automation do the rest. Don't intervene because I don't. One thing that keeps me because seeing my portfolio at 50%, sometime as a human, if I was the one, if I was doing everything manually, I probably wouldn't buy. But since everything's automated, that helps me to since everything's automated. Yeah, my charger is about to my laptop is about to die. There you go. Since everything's automated, that helps me to focus. Because if I was doing it manually, to be honest, I probably wouldn't be here. But since everything is automated, like the $100 and the $50, they're all automated. I don't have to do anything. All I have to do just go by my day, go to work, do whatever, and let the system do the rest. So if you're really thinking about building wealth, I recommend you start with the stock market. This is probably like the easiest way to make money. Business is not for everyone, but stock market is for everyone. If you can afford $1 a day, that's really all you need. So, what do we learn from this daily investing journey? It's boring, it's uncomfortable, and it's not cute. It's not as if somebody say, "Oh, this week I buy an option in let's say Tesla and I made 10K." That sounds sexy, but it's not realistic. They only show you the 10K they made this week. They don't show you the 20K they lost last week. They only show you all the wins and they only show you the wins, but they never show you the losses. That's the whole point of this journey. I'm trying to show everything: the losses, the wins, and everything as you might think of. Because to be honest, I don't care. Yes, $50, $50, it's real money. $50 is the $50 I invest every day and show the wins and the losses. It's real money. But I want to be so transparent that people can come back and be like, okay, this is how the stock market moves every day. Because people only show the wins, they never show the losses. I know this is not sexy, it's boring, and it's uncomfortable. But you need you need to build a system. Forget about what the Wall Street says. You need to build a system. That's how you make money in the stock market. Making money in a stock market is not random. It's built on a system. It's all about psychology, to be honest. Because I'm curious to see how this is going to end. I'm curious to see how this is going to end. Because as you can see, let me see if yeah, as you could see in week one, I was, let me see if I can share it. Okay, there you go. Okay, so as you can see in week one, I had 0.72 shares. And then in week 43, I have 43 shares. So this is not random. This is the system I built. Like I said, if I was doing everything manually, with no plan, with no strategy, what would have happened? Nothing. Right now, I probably still be chasing, uh, all this FOMO like Tesla, Nvidia, and the other stuff. But today, I'm still here after 43 weeks of investing every single day into one stock, despite how down my portfolio is. I'm still here because I built the system. So you need to build a system. You don't have to be like mine, but you can have your own system. Yours could be $5 where you invest once a week. Let's say every Friday you drop $50 or $100 every Tuesday. It depends. You need to do what works for you, but you need to have a system. A system is the only thing really that keeps everything intact and that checks your emotions. Without the system, you only be, to be honest, without the system, your chances of failing are high. I'm not saying what I'm doing is right. I'm not saying I'm smart or I'm a genius. No, I'm just a guy who's trying to step out of this. Because like these financial advisors, like the Wall Street, what they say, oh, buy S&P 500, hold it for 20 years, 30 years, or for the rest of your life, and then retire at 65. I say that's bull. That's why I'm trying to do my own system where I invest in the stocks I believe in. If I fail, that's on me. If I win, that's on me too. But what I need is a system. And the system is what I have right now. So you can do the same. You can have a system. And if your job offers a 401k, please take that 401k and maximize it. You can also start like a traditional account, like a, how you call it, RA traditional account, where you can invest in the stocks that you believe in or ETFs, something safer as a backup plan. But have an individual account that you control where you have a system that works, a system that you think has a high chance of outperforming the regular stock market, the S&P 500. Because remember, if you invest in the S&P 500, you are investing in if you're investing in S&P 500, you are investing in the American economy. Your chances of failing are low, but again, the result will be mediocre. Yes, a lot of people will disagree with me, but that's the truth. Your results will be mediocre because I don't know, everyone who has like a massive wealth, they never invest in S&P 500. Maybe they do now because they have money to protect. Because literally S&P 500 job is to make sure you keep up with the inflation. but it's not designed to make you wealthy. It's designed to make sure that the inflation doesn't eat up your money. That's literally what S&P 500 is for. So make sure you design your own system that works for you. But like I said, always have something on the side like your 401k, just in case, or open a traditional RIA. That one also is tax free, and you can get it like on Robinhood and other brokerages. It's simple. It's just literally just once you open Robinhood, it's just one click away. Another thing, if you have a kids, I'll highly recommend Acorn. Just go in, start investing for your kids. You can do $5 a week, $5 a month, depending on how old your kids are. They say your kids are like what, 1 year, 2 years, even 5 years. Even if you invest $5 a month for them, I'm being very conservative. I know as long as you have a job, you can afford at least $50 a month. By the time your kids turn 18, 28, they'll definitely be way ahead of people who didn't invest for their kids. So this is what I have for you today. I'm here to encourage you to start investing in your own system, create your own system. Don't depend on what you hear on from the Wall Street, like oh, do this, invest in this. No, create your own system. Think about the stocks that you believe in. It could be anything. If you drink Starbucks, start with Starbucks. If you use iPhone, start with Apple. If you use Windows, start with Microsoft. Those are just examples that I'm giving, not advice. But investing really shouldn't be, it's not that complicated. Let me know what you think in a comment. If you're new here, my name is Bako. I invest $50 a day into one stock. I'm hoping to do it for 20 years, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye bye for now.